What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the CultureVerse podcast. We have the full gang here today as we are doing a movie review over the new Edgar Wright film, The Running Man, starring Glenn Powell. So, all four of us here today, we've recently been doing movie reviews a little differently where we start with our rating instead just to get it out of the way. So, any specific order we want to start in here? I'm good with doing anything. I'm just gonna call it out as I see it. Caleb, you know you're going first. You're always going first. So Caleb, me, Tyler, Jack.
I'm
Awesome,
always
man.
last too. I have no problem with that.
I think my screen's just set up the exact same way every time, and I don't know how.
Yeah, so is mine.
Well, Tyler went first
It's
last time,
fair. All right,
so I don't know.
Caleb, you're first. Sorry, bud.
Okay, so I started I guess my review just briefly is it's 2.5.
Okay. I had it at a 3.
I also have it as a 3.
I have it as 2.5.
Okay, I was gonna say, did I blow it?
Jack's like 5. Oh!
Straight gas.
All right.
Glenn
Let's
Powell's
just-
naked, 5
let-
stars.
Whoa.
That
Let's just
is- that
get
does
into
happen.
this. Obviously, as you guys know, spoilers ahead. We will be posting our spoiler-free recap and rating on Instagram as well, but from this point on, there will be spoilers. So you have been warned. All right, let's get into it. One of the things that I think this movie you can pretty much immediately say, in my opinion, is that it's fun. It's a good time. Like you can have a fun movie that's not exactly like well made, good, super great movie. So, what do you guys take on that? I thought this was fun. That's the best way I could put it.
I thought there was fun segments, I would say. I think the 20 minutes of Michael Cera we get is pretty fun, and a couple of the action sequences with Glenn Powell just trying to lose his peanut is pretty fun. But like outside of that, I was kind of just there. Outside of that, and that's why I ended up in the middle. I feel like this is a pretty we're gonna have a lot of agreement here, and I honestly feel like recently the pod has had quite a bit of agreement on every movie we've seen. I think we're all in the same wavelength right now, and I really was just kind of there for most of this movie.
Yeah, this Michael Cera was definitely a highlight of this movie for sure. The action, outside of the fact that nobody could hit a shot, was mildly enjoyable. The reason why I have it as a 3, however, is because this movie should not be over 2 hours. This movie had several moments where it just kept going and it should have just stopped.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, I think what I agree with Mo what Jack said, where he said there was fun moments. I think Tyler would probably say the same thing too, where a lot of it was fun. I actually didn't have a problem with the pacing itself, but I also think the action sequences mostly look good and maybe weren't as like fun, I suppose. I think they just like I looked at the stunts crew for a lot of this.
And he's back.
Oh, there we go. There
Oh,
we
I
go.
didn't even realize I lied. Okay.
Yeah,
You
Yeah,
just completely froze for like 5 seconds.
You're good though. You're good.
Okay,
we're
great.
keeping it.
Yeah.
Whatever,
keep
that's
going.
fine. I didn't even know it happened. So I think that there's fun moments. Like I said, I looked at the stunts crew for this movie. A lot of the people that worked in the stunts did like MCU movies. Like one of the lead stunts persons did, or people did Fantastic Four. So I think that the stunts were really good. The one part that I stuck out to me was when he drops the gun in the plane and he catches it, and then or like the gun like floats into his hand, kind of, I guess,
Mhm.
and then he shoots the two hunters.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think this movie gets more stupid in the third act. I think I was starting to have less fun as the movie happened. I think it starts like really poorly and it ends poorly, but the middle is pretty good. I think that was kind of my synopsis of the movie.
I think one thing that it's hard to like deny is that Edgar Wright has a really good eye for creativity. He's a very creative director. Baby Driver is one of my favorite movies, maybe ever. And that movie has a lot of creative decisions, and you can see that in this movie. There's a lot of action that is reminiscent of Baby Driver, a lot of camera work. He really he likes shots that reveal things a lot. Like he'll have like doors that open and your characters are just standing there posted up. He does that a lot in this movie, but there's a lot of things in this movie that just feel like Baby Driver, and I like those are things that I love, and a lot of that's the action sequences. There's a lot of really fun action sequences. Like I do agree with Tyler. If you guys know this, I absolutely hate things in movies when people are missing wide open shots, like something talking about basketball, when people are missing gunshots that are just straight on. But one of my favorite scenes, unironically, in this movie is the whole in the I believe it's in an apartment when he runs down the hall and they all miss those shots. But that entire scene in general, I love that scene. I think that's really fun. I like when he's in the elevator and he throws a grenade and the guy kicks it back to him. Like I just like all the action sequences of him being chased by the hunters. I really enjoyed. Like I was thoroughly locked into every single one of those. It was everything in between that just felt like the most default story. I mean, the first thing in the sentence of my letterbox review was, "This is a fun but empty film." I mean, you don't take away anything. There's nothing to take away. There's nothing that hits home. They try to get emotional. Yes,
Put your
Phil.
hand down, kid. Not
I,
your
I
turn.
would I just want to add in
Okay.
this film explains itself so much.
Yeah,
Half
it
the
does. There's a lot
dialogue
of
is them
dialogue.
just
Yeah.
explaining the themes and motives.
Well,
Sure.
they kind of try to shove it in your face that they're like, he's got a wife and a sick kid. That's what he's doing it for. And it's like, okay,
We
we get
we
that, and
saw him
it's
for three
emotional.
minutes.
Like, it's emotional enough. Like, I get it. I get his motive, but it's still not going to be that emotional. I get what you're saying, Jack, with 3 minutes, but like, even if I saw more, I still don't think it just would. I just don't think the story
Probably
is
not.
that
Yeah.
entertaining. Like, the action is good and it's fun and it's shot well, and then the story is just weak. And another issue that is you're doing a remake. This has been done. This movie's been done. You're remaking a story that's already been done. And it's like I've not seen the original, but that instantly is going to lower people's expectations because you're just doing something that's been done before, so it feels less creative. And there's probably part of Edgar that feels like he needs to stay accurate to that original as well, and he doesn't get to do maybe things that he wanted to do and change things up. So it feels like a to me it feels kind of like a plot written in crayon. It's empty. It's not that strong, and I didn't enjoy that. But everything from a filmmaking aspect, and Caleb and I are both suckers for this. I don't know if you mentioned this, Caleb, but you and I are both suckers for that sci-fi element, the setting of this sci-fi dystopian world. I'm always gonna enjoy that. And this movie it was a cool. Like I like that concept. I enjoyed the almost like Hunger Games esque concept of just being okay with taking out people. Like it's just so accepted, and I enjoyed that a lot. So if you guys have seen the movie Jackpot, probably not from 2024. It was with John Cena. Well, this is like a more serious version of Jackpot. Very, very similar film. And if people listening have seen Jackpot and check this movie out, they'll know exactly what I mean. But I didn't enjoy Jackpot very much because it was too funny. So this to me felt like if they just took Jackpot more seriously. So filmmaking aspects are good, the action's good, the story flat in its face, in my opinion.
I would say you guys, you and Caleb, just pretty much nailed my two biggest issues with this movie right on the head. And I'm not like predisposed to love sci-fi movies. Like I will love them if they're really great and they earn it, but it's not like I'm going into it trying to love it. And so, yeah, and that was kind of the disappointment for me was how much I liked Baby Driver. I think I had that movie at like a 4.5. So I had pretty high hopes for this to be, and it was still fun, but to be like good and fun. And like Gabe mentioned, there's just not any sort of story level or depth to support it. And they try to really make sure that you're getting the messaging every 5 minutes of the way, like Caleb mentioned. And for me, I think the reason that I'm a little lower and down at the 2.5 is I didn't even really love like some of the ways things were filmed or edited in the movie itself. Like I thought several of the action sequences were still fun anyway, and Glenn Powell makes them more fun. But I was not bought in nearly enough into this movie. There was only a couple sequences that I mentioned earlier where I was really bought in and immersed in what was actually going on. Other than that, I was kind of sitting and waiting for it to get better. And well, like Caleb said, it didn't end or land the plane super well, so that really never happened for me.
He did the thing.
Oh, hey,
Literally.
yeah,
They
yeah,
literally
they did.
didn't land the
I wasn't
plane.
even trying to do that, but yeah. So
Yeah, I think the sci-fi like the dystopian element of this could have worked so much better if they actually tried in the beginning besides fucking speeding through everything to get you to the
yeah,
point. I think that the whole like exposition dump of like the training sequences is so like
yeah.
um what's the like dauntless like
Oh, Divergent.
divergent. It was very
Yeah,
divergent, like where
yeah.
they were like all these training sequences, but they were going so fast and they're trying to introduce these three running
Hmm.
man characters, and you don't care about them at all.
Yeah,
And I think that was the same thing with like the intro where he's like, I have to do this for the family. And she's like, no, I
yeah.
will do it. And I'm like, I don't care who the hell does it. I
Yeah.
all the characters were single note. They
Yeah.
were empty. I think that they kind of missed on that mark as the characters. As far I genuinely like I liked Glenn Powell's character.
Hmm.
He was fine,
But you probably liked Glenn Powell. You
but I
probably
liked
didn't really
yes,
care
I liked
about
because it was
Glenn Rick.
Glenn Powell.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like the characters being just empty, like Gabe said, very disappointing, especially for like these dystopian movies because they're so character centric.
Yeah.
Like you have to find a character you can like be like, that's my guy. I like this character. And this movie just for me really didn't have that except for the main character, but and I mean obviously has the entire screen time. So it's like hard for me to
Right.
find anything with that. So
Well, to build off of that, like Gabe drew the comparison to the Hunger Games, I think that would be the first dystopian type, like the most similar in my opinion. I would agree with that. In the first Hunger Games, they don't start the games until like halfway through the movie's runtime because there's so much build up and explaining it and why it's so important and grand. And we're literally the Running Man like game starts in like, do you think it even takes a half hour?
no,
Yeah,
20 minutes.
it's so quick, and I would agree with you that it just makes it feel rushed and unearned, and it doesn't. The stakes don't feel very high. And it I forgot to mention that, especially when we realize like I know they're trying to do this grand government kind of conspiracy plot thing where they're trying to keep him alive for their ratings or whatever. But to me, that like which you knew he wasn't going to die anyway until possibly the end, but that just removed so much more of the tension, and that was their excuse they used for like why they couldn't hit any of their shots. Was they're like, "Oh, we're not even trying to kill him." Well, now I have absolutely no stakes for the entire movie until the ending, so I might as well just check out until then. That at least that was the way I saw it. It just didn't feel super earned. So like I still, as we've kept mentioning, there's still like that doesn't mean there's not fun sequences. It sprinkled in there, but nothing felt like super high stakesy or earned or valuable to me.
I'll bring some just for the hell of it, bring some disagreement to the table. I actually felt like they didn't jump into the game super early. Like I felt like I was sitting there for a while until they jumped into the games. I don't know if I'm just remembering it wrong, but I feel like we sat there for a good while until they actually got to the Running Man. Like they had this shit in the beginning with him and his boss, and then him and his wife, and then him trying out for these different things. And I just felt like it took us. I feel like it was a decent like 30 minutes before we were. I don't know. Maybe I'm just remembering it wrong, but I did
I
not have an
suppose
issue
it,
with that
and it
at
might have
all.
been. I just felt quick for me,
Well,
honestly.
I think it. Well, I also think it's because it's a 2 hour and 20 minute movie that
Yeah.
it feels.
That's
It's
so
hard to
fun.
feel the pacing and know where you're at exactly. I think that's something that was more of a problem. But um, something that I did like, and Jack, you mentioned that you like Glenn Powell and not the character. I actually did like Ben Richards. I liked the character, and it wasn't just because it was Glenn Powell. I think the character was interesting, and I liked like his. I liked they would show his thinking, and they would show like I liked when they would show his like a dream or like a thought that he was having, or like how he plans around a certain way of escaping. Like I just thought the character was interesting. It was just the emotional connection that completely missed, where I just didn't feel that emotional connection to his family. But I liked his character. I liked the way he thought. I liked the way he acted. I thought that he was. The humor worked for me pretty well in this movie. I was laughing a pretty decent amount. I felt like, um, I-
I could see that. I don't think that's ridiculous.
for me, honestly, the
So
cast was good.
ridiculous to
Like
say that.
really, I think the cast in general was good. Coleman Domingo is awesome. I really like
Yeah,
Coleman
he's one of
Domingo.
my
I think he
favorites.
was super fun in this movie. Uh, he is like, if you need like an eccentric, just high energy actor, he nailed it. I mean, he felt it feels it's just really good. I mean, and that's something that also feels super Hunger Gamesy is the
Oh
way he
yeah,
acts and the way he's
Yeah.
talking to the crowd. I mean,
Yep.
it feels
I
just
was.
like Flickerman. I mean,
Yeah.
it's almost the exact same concept. This showbiz guy who is just like I thought it was interesting how it always cut back and they were like completely twisting the story. Like I always thought that was interesting and I thought it was funny. Like I enjoyed that and I liked how he had to fight through it. But the whole cast in general, just I actually enjoyed the cast. Like we mentioned Michael Cera, I think that was a great addition. I didn't have an issue with him being in it for such a short time either. I felt like it was Caleb. It reminded me so much of the Jack Quaid scene in Heads of State.
yeah.
So
I
much.
was thinking the
Like
same
and
thing.
he's got this house that's all
Yeah,
set up just like that
it is
scene.
just like
But
that.
um I like Josh Brolin. I thought Brolin was pretty good. I mean, no, is this going to be the movie you remember Josh Brolin for? No, you're never going to think of Josh Brolin in this movie together. Was he
That's
bad in it?
Goonies.
No, you're not going. He was not bad in this. No, that's
Good
Marvel,
pull.
buddy.
Good pull.
That's
Good
It's
pull.
Thanos.
nope. Nope, it's Goonies.
I
Goonies.
think of Thanos,
He will
but
always be Brent.
the person that really I liked in this movie was Lee Pace. I really liked Lee Pace in this movie, and I really liked the character. I liked the twist that he was a hunter that had been given the same job. I enjoyed that. I thought that was interesting. I also thought his costume was sick. Like I loved his setup.
Taskmaster.
I thought he was cool. Like it did kind of feel like Taskmaster. I didn't. The only thing I didn't like was he was pretty corny with like his lines, but like that was the point. You know, it's satirical. He's like this TV show host basically that hunts people down. But the final act, while I do think it was weak, I thought the dialogue between him and Glenn Powell on the plane was the best of the entire movie. Like when they were fighting back and forth, and when he was telling him not to take the deal, like I really enjoyed that. I don't like how it ended, but I enjoyed that Lee Pace and Glenn Powell back and forth banter. I enjoyed when Lee Pace was the one chasing people down. So Lee Pace and Glenn Powell, I thought were both really good, and those are reasons why I'm at a three because I'm not just at a three because the action was good. That's not a good enough reason, you know. Like I'm not just gonna be like, yeah, it was fun action, so 3 star. Like that would be good for like a 2 star maybe. But so yeah, it was. I thought the acting was good. I did. I wanted a little more from William H Macy though. I really like him, but yeah, no, I don't know what you guys' thoughts are, but I
I
figured I'd
totally
disagree a little
forgot.
bit.
Totally forgot William H. Macy was in the movie.
Yeah,
I
he's
saw it
he's just
like two
there.
days
I
ago.
mean, he doesn't need more screen time, but I'm a little
Yeah.
biased and I
No,
like him.
I know what you mean. His character was kind of interesting. The
Yeah.
Although it did piss me off when he was like, "Oh, I had a job for you."
Well, I mean, it's
Not
just
like
what
it wasn't
happens.
like a no,
it's just yeah,
it wasn't like a con in the writing. I was just like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. That's fair. I did almost shit when the dude from All American showed up. Daniel
Who's
Ezra.
that?
He was the kid
Oh
who was
yeah.
like making the tapes, making the videos, the older
Oh,
brother.
yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
that's the guy from All American. It's like, what's he doing here? I don't know. He's in movies, but and I actually liked his story too. I liked him and his younger brother trying to help with their younger sister too. So, yeah, I mean, someone else can kind of pitch in on that, but that was just something I enjoyed. Lee Pace and Glenn Powell were two people that I had a good time with. What are your
Yeah, one
thoughts?
of my obviously I gave you my reasons why I only have this as a three from a negative standpoint.
Mhm.
Glenn Powell was a positive as for why I gave this a three. Now, I will say I didn't like it's weird. I didn't really care for his character, like Caleb said. I didn't care for much of any of the characters except for Michael Cera's character. But that being said, I still very much enjoyed watching Glenn Powell be Glenn Powell in this movie. That was definitely a major highlight of this film for me.
Yeah, I actually give you. I'm glad you said something about Lee Pace's character. Is it It's McMahon? What was it? I can't remember what his name
Uh-huh.
was. The Lee Pace's character's name.
Oh, it's like McCone,
McCone. Yeah, I actually thought
Evan
I put it in my review. I
McCone.
thought he was the most like layered character, quite
Oh, for
honestly,
sure.
where he actually
Yeah.
had these multiple twists in his story, and we actually didn't see him very often.
Hmm. I
100%
agree with
agree with
that.
that.
Dude was getting bitched around by the government.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that the casting I agree was pretty good. The acting I'm not like. I mean, I'm not, you're obviously not gonna. That's not gonna be a major takeaway. I think it's something that to know that it was like they all tried. I think that's something that is good. It's not like a bad try. Like I actually think
You
they
you
actually
just you
gave.
just hit him with when a player gets drafted and you're like, there's potential. He can pass the basketball.
No, like they
You
gave
hit him
they
with
Bro
he's
gave
gave
got
him
a
a
effort.
good
Josh Giddey
attitude.
scouting report.
He's got a good
They
attitude.
gave they obviously cared about this movie. I just don't think I'm like obviously never gonna remember the acting from this movie, but I think that it was obvious Glenn Powell. This is like his niche kind of movie role now at this point,
Mm.
and I think that it was really cool seeing him working his ass off in this movie. So I agree that him being in this movie was good.
He's just kind of built for that protagonist, like that fun kind of like I don't want to say like sought after, but like the girls swoon for him. He's a badass. He's a cool guy, and it works. Like he nails that role. It fits him perfectly, and I look forward to seeing more movies where he does that. And that was what this was. I mean, Edgar Wright absolutely looked at Glenn Powell and was like, "Yeah, this is perfect for him." Like, and it was like th- this was the Glenn Powell movie that Edgar Wright directed. Like, it wasn't the Running Man sequel. It wasn't the remake of the Running Man. It was, oh, Glenn Powell's got a new movie. Like that's what it felt like, and I enjoyed it because of that. Like Tyler said, I mean, I enjoyed Glenn Powell. Like I liked the character. I know you didn't say that, Tyler, but Glenn Powell brought it to the character. So I mean, you can't really, I can't like the character and without saying I like Glenn Powell too.
Yeah, I got
That's
Not
nothing.
facts.
shit.
That's
Okay, I mean I have more like I think
Go
that
go.
there was one
I'm
moment
out of gas,
there was
bro.
one moment I wanted to bring up with the
Mhm.
over explaining of the themes. the part in the car when he gives her a minute to explain herself and she just blatantly explains the whole morale of like capitalism versus like the working man. I was like, I appreciate what you're going for, but let's be honest. Like that part specifically was so bad for me. She was like, "But you're bad," and the media is literally just like the media told me you're bad, and then he's like, "How much did that scarf cost?" And it's like, bro. So like, let's be honest. I thought that was terrible with how on the nose they were. That moment specifically was just so bad. I don't really even expect like anything else, but I just wanted to get that out of the way because I thought that part was horrible.
I think that's fair. Like I definitely felt like it was on the nose, but I was just like, whatever. Like I just didn't
That's
care.
fine. Yeah, but I just thought that
It
part
didn't
too.
bother me, but yeah, it
Oh
was
my
on the nose.
god.
I did enjoy the I was real hyped at the Monster Energy place. That was
Oh
sick.
yeah,
Michael Cera
monster.
had a that was awesome. I was a big fan of that. But I get it was on the nose. Yeah, it was on the nose. But this movie's not exactly shooting for the stars to get you to go home and have your life be changed by the morale of the messages.
I
So,
agree. I it's just
you know,
but even like the exposition, like the plot points, I thought they were even doing with like moments where they were like, "This is what's happening." I don't know.
that's something that I did write down is like I think this movie is safe. Like it does what it wants to
It
do, which
is.
is let's make a fun time. Which it does that. Now, the questionable thing is why do you make your runtime that much longer if you're going to make it a fun movie? You could have done an hour 45 and it would have been a fun movie that gets the job done. Would that have changed my rating that much? Probably not, but it just makes it a more watchable movie, I guess. And I didn't actually really have much of an issue with the pacing, but
I didn't
it's
either.
just gonna push people away. Like it is. Like when I saw it was 2 hours and 20 minutes, I was like, oh shit, like that's. But I didn't feel it in the movie
Too
really. But
long.
I never felt it in the movie, but I was
Yeah, I
definitely
didn't
like,
either.
I see
Oh,
why people,
I was definitely feeling it.
I see why people would be concerned going into it at least.
Ironically, I actually felt like the pacing was too fast. I feel like they were trying to
And there were
introduce
times,
too
yeah,
many plot elements.
I get
Like they
that. I
didn't have
get that.
enough time to make this. It
It
felt like
would
it should have been a
speed up
part one
and
and
then
two.
slow down, and then they would speed up and then slow down. And then the ending, they really slowed down.
I
I
wanted
think
to sh I'm just looking at some letterbox stuff. An account named Chug Margaritas had a pretty funny review. They said this is what the fitness gram pacer test felt like in middle school. I thought that was a good comment. That made me laugh. But it, I just keep going back in circles and repeating myself pretty much. But
I
I
have
don't
a
know.
question to pose.
This would one more thing I want to mention. Then you can ask your question. I think my rating would actually have changed positively if this was a like a Amazon Prime release or like a streaming release because it just this feels like a streaming release. This didn't need to be a theatrical movie that you go see in the theaters. I think this would have been an easier watch at home. Like it's not like there are some crazy things you have to see on the big screen and the audio is going to blow you away. Like this is an Apple TV movie if I've ever seen one.
I was just thinking HBO Max.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, Caleb, what were you gonna
I
ask?
was gonna say I've seen a lot of dialogue. I don't know if you guys seen dialogue about this, that about Glenn Powell being like the next Tom Cruise. Have you seen that conversation being brought up about how he's
I
kind of
don't
like
hate
that
that.
stunts guy that is on these
I don't hate that.
blockbuster type movies?
Well, I mean, he's not exactly like some. I mean, he's not exactly like some crazy like Oscar win. I mean, Tom Cruise just won his
Yeah,
like
honorary, yeah.
he just it's not like Tom Cruise is some Denzel Washington type actor, you know. So I don't hate that at all. I mean, I don't think Glenn Powell's exactly ever going to be a Leonardo DiCaprio level
I
actor.
agree.
So I could just see him living around in the action, you know, the high paced action movies. I mean, he's done. That's all he's done really, other than anyone but you know, the love interest there. But Hitman, Top Gun Maverick, The Running Man, like he's starting somewhere. And he literally had a thing where he talked about how he said, I want to be like Tom Cruise. And Tom Cruise told him that like him and Tom Cruise spoke and he was like, I want to be the version of you that's our generation. Like that's I don't know if you knew that, Caleb, because that's crazy that you brought that up.
No,
But that is
I've just seen a lot
exactly
of I've seen a lot of dialogue like
he
on
literally
how
has
he
talked
is.
about how he spoke with Tom Cruise on the set of Top Gun Maverick, and he was like, "I want to be you," and he was like, "Then keep doing this, keep doing what you're doing."
Let's be real. If the Oscars had that best stunt award, Tom Cruise would have like a dozen Oscars by now.
It's
Well,
true.
yeah, but talking about acting from an acting standpoint,
Yeah.
not the stunt
Yeah,
stuff. I
I
mean,
know what
this,
you
yeah,
mean.
obviously
His
from the stunt stuff, he'd have But I'm talking about in the terms of like, I don't,
Yeah.
I like Tom Cruise and I like his movies. He is not an insanely
He's an
crazy
icon.
great
He's not a
actor.
great actor.
Yeah, like he's good. He's not. It's not
Like
like he's on
Harrison
the level
Ford.
of. He's not. Holy
Shut the fuck
shit!
up.
It's not like he. It's not like he's on the level of like The Rock and like people like. I mean, like even Mark
Literally
Wahlberg
can
kind
only
of.
do action.
Even like Mark
Oh, not
Wahlberg
true.
kind of like. I like Mark Wahlberg, but
Not true. He can do comedy.
um, I do think he's better than those guys. But yeah, he's not like knocking me out of my seat with his acting performances, and that's kind of how Glenn Powell is. But I don't know. I think it'll be interesting to see if he sticks in this realm or if he does try to get bigger roles. I mean, I'd be curious if a superhero company goes after him, Marvel or DC. I mean, I
Mm.
feels like a guy that could definitely be picked for something. Booster Gold, maybe.
Mm.
Um, it feels like he could definitely be picked for something like that. He's got charisma, he's got charm, he's fun. And if that happens, I don't think he'll go down the route of just doing these fun action movies his whole life. I think he could maybe get bigger than that. But we'll see. If you guys should watch Hitman because I think in Hitman, he's genuinely a very good actor in Hitman.
Tyler, what do
We
you think
need
about
to the pod needs to watch A Few Good Men so we can respect Tom Cruise.
We're not
Magnolia?
Give him
disrespecting
some
Probably.
Tom
no,
Cruise.
no, I'm talking about respect his emotional depth as an actor.
I got to see
True, but
Magnolia for
can you
sure.
name another one where he's like super
He's
good
not.
actor?
Mission Impossible 3. The scene with him and whatever the villain's name is, I can't remember his
Philip
name.
Seymour Hoffman.
So good.
You
So good in
also,
that movie.
fair enough.
He
You
is
also
pretty
love
good
that
in
movie
some of the
more
Mission
than
Impossible
than
movies.
I do.
Philip Seymour
No,
Hoffman's the goat,
yeah,
though.
he's good, but like I just can't think of like a movie where I think he's like knocked dead, like just incredible.
I want to watch Jerry Maguire really badly
Yeah,
as
I've heard
well.
he's pretty good, Jerry Maguire, but I, I don't know. I like Tom Cruise, but I just, yeah,
You like
I
Caleb, what
Tom
do you think?
Cruise?
You
I
brought the
don't think
question.
I don't think it's a ridiculous like comparison. Like I think that the way I would phrase it is that's Glenn Powell's ceiling, and he's a young actor, and so if everything goes right in his career, that's how he could end up being seen. But
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd like lock that in necessarily at this time.
No, I
But
think that's,
I don't think it's ridiculous.
yeah. I think my take on it would be I think that when I think of Tom Cruise, I think of Mission Impossible. Like I think that a lot of people think about that. He has better acting performances, like I'm almost guaranteed. But I think everyone thinks of him like that. So I think Glenn Powell needs, and maybe he should be casted for one of those kind of franchises, whether it's already
They're
been
doing a new
adapted or
James
not.
Bond.
Yeah, I mean, get him in something
The
that has,
Running Man too, buddy.
get him in something that has multiple movies, and then he can have kind of
Will
that,
not be
Yeah.
either.
and then he can have that iconic character. I paused on purpose. I don't know if
Okay. I didn't know if we lost you there, but
no,
yeah,
I
you did good. You nailed it.
Top,
You came back
Bro,
at
it's
the
got a
same exact
superpower.
spot.
Top Gun
Um,
3.
uh, I actually,
Hot
I,
fun.
I don't know if like I'm not just trying to disagree to be an ass, but like I also do kind of disagree with that as well,
Oh,
Jack. I don't think his ceiling is Tom Cruise. I think his ceiling could be higher. Like
I think his ceiling is Glenn
you think
Powell.
his ceiling's higher than
I don't
Tom
think
Cruise?
Tom is like an incredible
he's
actor. I
really
mean, he's a
not
great
historically.
stuntman. He's an awesome
I
stuntman, and
would
he can like he's a good actor. He's good, and his
yeah.
movies are really good and they're really fun. But like they're the pinnacle of acting. Like action is one of the genres where you don't exactly like why do you think people like The Rock make a career off of action movies? Because it's the easiest to go. It's not the easiest, horror's easiest. Sorry.
Okay, do you
I'm
know
not,
I
I'm
can't
not
listen to this anymore. This is everything against my core
I'm
values
not
right
I'm sorry,
now.
I'm not going down on horror. But in my opinion, action is just one of those where like you don't have to be a phenomenal actor. And Tom Cruise is good. He's a good actor. He's a good
It
actor.
helps.
But well, okay, obviously any good
And
acting helps
I
any
don't
genre. But
appreciate
like
him being thrown in the same conversation as The Rock.
I
The Rock might
literally
get
said
nominated for an Oscar this year, by the way.
and like 15 minutes, like 5 minutes
It's
ago,
part
I
of an
said that
Oscar bait movie. That doesn't count.
5 minutes ago, Jack, I said that he is well above The Rock. I just said that like 5 minutes
Okay,
ago.
I'll allow that.
But I'm saying that's why people like The Rock are able to make movies in that genre over and over and over, and people still go to see him because action you don't need a knock dead acting performance to get it to do good. Like it's the one genre, it's one of the few genres where you can have a mediocre actor, which that's not what Tom Cruise is, but you can have a mediocre actor and it can still work. I think Tom Cruise, the reason they're so good is obviously his stunts. That's what he's known for. He's known because he does his stunts. That is the Tom Cruise way, and
I
that's
mean,
awesome. He gets credit for that. He is. I do not think he's known because he is this just incredible actor. He's known because holy shit, he jumped out of a plane. That's sick, and I will always love him for that. But for me, Tom Cruise is not the actor that I'm gonna write home about and put, man, his performance just sold this movie like completely. Like, sold's the wrong word. His performance just absolutely made this movie incredible. Like he was good in this movie, and I'll write it down. Like yeah, he was good. I liked him. That stunt was sick. Like that's kind of what I call. And Caleb, you mentioned that too. Like when you think of Tom Cruise, what do you think of? Mission Impossible. What is the thing that goes to Mission Impossible? The guy does every single stunt. And I'm not saying Glenn Powell will be better than him. That's not what I'm saying. If he has a ceiling, I think his ceiling could be better than of an actor, better than what we see from those types of movies and what we see from Tom. Will he be as successful? No. Tom is one of the most successful actors ever because Mission Impossible has made. I don't even want to do the math for how much money that franchise has made. But it's Tom Cruise is a good actor for sure. But I think Glenn has a very high ceiling. It's just going to come down to if he just keeps doing Amazon Prime action movies, or if he steps it up. And it sounds like I'm dissing Amazon Prime. If he just keeps doing these action movies, all into this romance route where he just sticks around and does romance movies because he is a better actor than that. Like he just is, and that's the opposite of what I'm off topic.
I
Sorry,
think
I just
Tom
asked
Cruise
you
has
for
that
one thing.
range. I think he has the range. I think
Can
he can
you
do comedy,
genuinely, can you tell me a movie
rom-com,
that you've
drama,
seen where
action.
he's been an incredible actor? Because I want to know, like that you have
An
seen where you're
incredible actor.
like a
Here's the
really good
problem. I don't
actor.
think Glenn Powell is an incredible actor.
I didn't
I
say
don't
he
think he
is.
will be.
Okay, that's where we disagree. I think he
I,
can be. I think he's got
I don't
potential to
think
be
I don't
very
see a
good.
world where he becomes a better actor than Tom Cruise. And I think Tom Cruise is a great actor. I don't think he's like best of my and Top Gun themselves.
My
But
pro
I understand like that's you're perfectly entitled to like feel that way about him. That's how we always will be with actors is we're gonna have different opinions on them. But that's just where I would stand.
my problem is I just can't think of any movie and Top Gun. Top Gun, where I'm like, what is he doing outside of really good action? You know, like I just you can name an actor like that is in the game right now that's probably around his age, and I can name a movie where I think they are like very good at acting. I don't know if I can do that for Tom Cruise. Maybe Top Gun Maverick. Top Gun
I
Maverick, I
would
do think
say A
is
Few
he's
Good
quite
Men.
good.
I've seen that.
Okay,
I got to
I
see
that's
Magnolia.
one I've not
There's
seen. So I've not seen A Few Good Men.
he
I don't
has
know.
in here I will say this. I'm not gonna say it's like the he's opposite of Jack Nicholson. That's going to help. So I'm not like sitting here like if you see A Few Good Men, you're gonna completely have your world changed, and now he's gonna be an Oscar-winning or Oscar-deserving actor in your
Hmm.
opinion. I just I think he has a little wider catalog than what we've maybe seen.
I'm sure, but I also think it
I mean have we seen Tropic Thunder? I
that do not bring up Tropic Thunder right now. That is not
Les
going to help.
Grossman is not ranged to
He's
us.
he's just doing a stupid funny role. That does not
No,
no, that is
I'm sorry.
not
I was looking
okay.
through
I'm
his
not
catalog
going to bring
on
that up.
Google and Tropic Thunder came up, and for a split second I was like, who the fuck was
I
he
kind
in
of forgot he
Tropic
was in
Thunder?
that too.
And then I got
Well, like
flashbanged with Les Grossman in my mind. I was like, he can do it all.
the other thing that hurts me with Tom though that I think could differ from Glenn is I just think he does too much as well. Like he just accepts things. Like for example, like Edge of Tomorrow. Like people did not love that movie and people were like, why did he do this? Like I've seen bad reviews in that movie that are like, why is he just
That was
exactly
bad
like if
movie.
you look at his catalog, there are probably more movies that you're like, what the hell is this? Than there are that you're like, oh yeah, that movie. Because he just does anything. Like I don't want Glenn to do that. I don't if Glenn doesn't do that and he just sticks to movies that do good for him, like are good, fun movies, I think he can be a better actor looking, like a better looking actor if you look back on it. But like it's tough because Tom's just done how many movies is it? Like I bet Tom's done
Oh yeah, it's got to be something
200
crazy.
movies. I mean, like he has probably done so many films that if you don't want to watch it, basically, I just have high hopes for Glenn. I hope Glenn does good. I hope he doesn't go down the route of I'll do anything if you throw a bag my way, which some actors are that way, you know. I
That's
mean, you
how I'd
can't
be.
I don't know if I don't think I don't know. I can't say. I wouldn't want it
That's
to
how
be
I would
that
be at
way.
first.
Yes, if I was like a super young actor, yeah, I would probably be that way too. But
Yeah.
that is my one concern with when I think of Tom is I do feel like he is still just like, fuck it, like I'll do it. Like Edge of Tomorrow is like a few years old. It just feels kind of random, but I like Tom. You know, I like Tom J. I'm not saying I don't like Tom Cruise. Like I like Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
I hope Glenn does more than what he's doing now, and I think he will. We'll come back to 10 years and see if
No,
he's made anything for
yeah.
himself, and if he's
We'll
not, I'll be
revisit this
sad.
episode and have another discussion about it. By the way, I just Googled how many movies Tom Cruise has been in. Google deadass looks me straight in the eyes and says at least 53.
True,
What kind of an answer is that?
they're not
On
wrong.
Letterboxd it says 88.
Thank you, Letterbox.
They're not wrong. He has probably
That
been.
wasn't even the AI overview. It was just Google.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But yeah, I think we can
Anyway,
all.
The Running Man.
Yeah, I was say we can. I was just gonna wrap it up. I think we can all take away that like,
Okay, I have something. Low key in Rain Man.
Grah.
In Rain Man, Tom Cruise is really good.
I,
I've been lagging on and off, not gonna lie, so I can't.
okay, I was just talking about Rain Man. I said he's
Okay.
good in Rain Man. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't think he's like crazy. I think he's good. It's a good movie.
That of the movies I've seen from him, that's probably the best
That's
performance.
probably I would agree with that statement. That's probably I like him in Top Gun Maverick more, but
Top Gun
it's
Maverick
close.
would be
It's
my
close.
pick.
But yeah, it's basically what I was gonna say is I think the thing we can wrap up from this movie for Running Man is that we all agree that there are fun aspects. Edgar Wright is a good director. Like he's got good vision. He's creative. This movie just ultimately lacks some story. It lacks some overall like emotional beats, and then the runtime questionable for sure. But I think it's I don't know. I don't mind that I went and saw it in theaters. I don't feel like I wasted my money. Like I enjoyed it enough. It wasn't like one of those movies that I'm like, would I have got up and left? No. Like it's not like I would have left if I was by myself. But I think it was worth checking out in my opinion. But
I gave it the old standing up in the last 5 minutes because I was like, let's go.
you stood
Bro,
up.
you were just
I was
standing up in
I
the
was
middle
the
of the
only
theater.
person in my theater.
You just stood
So
there.
you're just a
I
jackass
was
standing
like,
up in the middle of the theater.
yeah, I was a jackass because I was the only person there.
If I was working at the theater and I walked in, I would have like
Yeah, they were
escorted you
watching you
out.
on camera.
I had my hands in my coat
They were
pocket, like,
like,
okay, let's wrap
That's
this
actually
up.
crazy. That's insane, bro.
if I worked at a theater and I walked into like you know how sometimes they'll wait to clean at the entrances, and I walked in and you were just standing in the center of the
I would have gave
theater
him the
with your
dad
hands.
wave.
I would have been like, get the fuck out of my movie theater.
Security.
They were already closing. Whatever, just different conversation.
Okay, well, we can go ahead and wrap up the episode here. But
Yeah.
as always, thank you guys for listening to the episode. Continue to check out our social media pages as we will post more content. Check out our gaming page on TikTok as well. We're trying to post more gaming clips to get more followers there. But as always, thank you guys for listening, and we will catch you guys next time.